But the more domesticated animals become, the more comfortable they become in the environment, the more they tend to spread out. As I mean, you can see these animals are they're chill. They're not. There's no predator aspect here. And also how you handle them when you're working with them in terms of inoculations or tagging or whatever it might be. The more quiet you are and sort of relaxed you are, the more relaxed the animals become.
These are little Pinzales. They're bred out of Nguni and Pinzgau, and they're the newest breed in the country. And they've retained the hardiness of the Nguni with the growth of the Pinzgau. So we've got a little stud here which we'll select from, but they're very tame. Hello, how are you? Come girls, come. Come on, up you get. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah.
I mean, Temple Grandin is a lady from the US. I mean, she's actually been responsible for creating almost half of the US's corral setups for animal handling in terms of a friendly way of handling animals versus, you know, using their natural instincts in terms of a circular system like we do with our cattle facilities that we filmed the other day. Because what you want to do in the southern hemisphere, it's actually interesting, animals will move easier in a anti-clockwise direction than they will in a clockwise direction. Northern hemisphere is exactly the opposite. And we can see it here because we've got two different systems, and one is clockwise, one's anti-clockwise. And the one of my dad's is anti, and they flow through just so much easier.
Come. Come. You too. They're very quizzy. Come on. Up. Now you can see what we do. We never stress the animal, so we use a piece of plastic pipe. EP pipe yako, Nugo. So we try and be as calm as possible. No shouting and no screaming at them. You'll notice that the design of the facility is they're working in an anti-clockwise direction, and the animals want to go back to where they've come in. That's very important. It's not as if you're chasing them somewhere, so each one that works is going back to where the others will be. And so the design is anti-clockwise, because in the southern hemisphere you want your flow to be anti-clockwise. In the northern hemisphere, clockwise. It's just a natural way they move. It's actually fascinating when you look at animal behavior as to why they do what they do. And you see they're not stressed. They're quite happy.
At the end of the day, stress is cost, because I mean they're losing meat, I mean they're losing weight, and so what's going to happen is that obviously reverts back into a cost factor. So the less stress, better gains. You know, at the end of the day, if you're producing beef or meat or protein or whatever it is, it's net profit. You've got to look at natural behavior and try and use that to your advantage versus working against the animal, right? Try and work with the animal. But definitely Temple Grandin's been a huge influence worldwide in terms of animal behavior and how to actually work with animals in a way that it's not, you know, limiting stress and all the rest of it.
I've always maintained nature is a dynamic, and if you understand the fundamentals of nature, you can get huge increases in production. If you stress them and chase them around, you lose that. So you're actually losing that between 12 and 15 rand a day just by the way you treat your animals. So it's critically important, both, you know, from a humanitarian point of view, but also from a point of view of economics. So the less you stress your animal, the more effective they are and the more they produce. And as you can see, they're quite exceptional. They literally lick you to pieces. Hey, my girl. Yes, you are very curious.